In this video I'm going to be answering all the questions that you've actually asked me. I'll try and answer them as truthfully. Okay, so the first question, an easy one. How old are you? I'm 20. Second question, how long is your commute? Well, the commute to college is 16 miles one way. So it's about a 32-mile round trip. Okay, how long does it take by car and by bike? By car, to get to college, it takes about 40-45 minutes, depending on how the traffic is, because the traffic can get very, very bad in the mornings. By bike, it normally takes about 1 hour 10. And surprisingly, by bus, it actually takes 1 hour 30. So, even cycling is faster than getting the bus. Have you ever crashed? On my bike, I've crashed off it. I've fallen off my bike. There's a popular video on there of me crashing on ice, just when I was in the college grounds. Some black ice that was just on the ground that I just did not see at all, and I went round a corner a little bit too fast and just wiped out basically. I have crashed and caused injury to myself. That's going back a few years now though, and surprisingly that was because I was going too fast around a corner. It wasn't icy, but it was very, very greasy. And as a result of that, I ended up ripping open my knee. I haven't crashed in my car, and I don't want to because my insurance premiums will go right up. It's just such a waste of money having a crash in a car. So don't take the risk. What made you buy a helmet cam, dash cam? Helmet cam or dash cam? What originally made me buy a helmet cam for cycling was because I saw there were people in London who had a camera and were filming things, but actually having a camera, cyclists using cameras wasn't that well known back then. So drivers were just taking a liberty with me. They were just cutting me up here and there. They were getting out, having road rage and shouting things at me. But now that I've got a helmet cam, I've got the peace of mind that whatever happens that I'm looking at is going to be videoed. Also, I can show sort of like the good parts of North Wales and the joys of things, which I normally put in my randoms videos. And then I also show good drives as well in the Patience Isn't Hard series. There's more good things in North Wales that outweigh the bad things, to be honest. How did you come up with your username? You see, I don't know. I have no idea what I was thinking when I came up with Monkey's Nuts. I think I was going with monkeysnuts.com, but YouTube you couldn't put dots in, so I don't know why, but I think Monkey's Nuts was taken, but monkeysnuts.com wasn't, so I just went with that. I don't know why it's got to be Monkey's Nuts. It was just something funny I thought of at the time, I think, to be honest. Since then, someone has designed me a little avatar for YouTube. A little monkey with a confused face holding some nuts. And I can't express how thankful I am of the user who actually made that for me and sent it to me, because I've been racking my mind for so long of what type of avatar I should have, and I could never design a good one, so thank you for that person. I've gone and forgotten their name now, but now that you drive, are you cycling less or are you making the time to ride? Unfortunately, I am cycling less. I find, because now I've got a car and my family are kind of relying on me to go places and do things, I've got very little time to cycle. Especially over the Christmas period, that was very, very busy with I did quite a bit of driving, and I just didn't have the time to cycle. But I've promised myself that when the weather gets nice, I will still commute to college and work by bike. because there's no point in sitting in a really hot car when you can sort of get out on your bike and actually enjoy the ride to and from, the commute to and from wherever you're going. What is your funniest moment on your bike? Now you see, in the randoms videos, I'm up to 64 now. And I can't go through 64 videos looking at what the funniest part was, because that's just so anal. But the funniest part that I can remember is that in one of the first videos, my randoms videos that I did, I had a bit of a mad moment where I was just being a bit of an idiot on the bike, really. Not on the roads or anything. I was just having some really weird things going on in my mind. I don't know why. I was singing, I was dancing, I was pointing at things and shouting. I don't know why I was doing it, but it was just... What bike do you have? I've got 3 bikes at the moment. I've got my mountain bike, which is a cheap Trax from Halfords that I got just because I wanted to do a little bit of mountain biking at the weekend on the odd occasion. My other bike, my bike that I use for commuting, is a Kona Smoke, in a very nice matte black, and I've obviously gone and fitted all my commuting stuff to it, so the panniers, the bolt cages, all the light fittings and stuff. It's surprisingly fast because it's a hybrid. And my last bike is a Specialized Sector Elite. It's the 2011 model. I've really enjoyed the bike. It was really comfy. The positioning is comfy, but it just rides smooth because it's got little suspension bits in little gels in the forks, which sort of give it a bit of suspension. When did you start driving? I passed my test on what was it? It's the end of July last year, so end of July 2013. I started learning to drive April, I think it was. It was either March or April. That's the first ever lesson I actually had, but I had a bit of a break between them because I was still finishing college. But I only got a car in November. What's the furthest you have been on a bike? The furthest, the longest ride I've been on is the 100-mile ride, which I did to go and see the Tour of Britain come through North Wales. I surprisingly didn't feel as tired as I thought I was, but I think that was mainly because we had like a decent half an hour, 3/4 of an hour stop in the middle. And we were constantly stopping and waiting for each other to catch up and stuff, so... and it was good company as well that spurred me on that ride. What city would you like to cycle in? I would say London, just because of the size of it and just the fact that there's so much there, but drives there can be a little manic and a little pushy, that I've seen from other videos from other cyclists. I'm thinking Manchester might be a bit quieter, really. So I'd like to cycle in Manchester. What city would you hate to cycle in? See, I haven't really heard anything of a city that's bad for cycling. Because cycling is getting so popular now, it's just getting taken on by the whole world, really. There were some states in America where I would not like to cycle because of the opinions of everyone there. Everyone's sort of anti-cyclist, and some laws even have no cycling on the roads. And so I'm not too keen cycling in some states of America. But which came first, the chicken or the egg? I'm going to say the chicken because it evolves. It's evolved from other animals, and even if you say, oh, the egg evolved, or the egg came first, or the egg was before the dinosaurs, yeah, it was. But if you look at humans, the way sort of babies are, they're in the womb, and the womb is effectively an egg which is inside the body. There's a very, very thin layer of shell, if you really want to call it that, membrane, but technically the baby is in a sac, in an egg type of pouch. It's just that humans have evolved to keep the egg inside them, and because the wife can provide, the mother can provide more nutrients and things to the baby with it actually staying inside her, because she can control what the baby gets and what the baby wants and stuff, and the way it's treated. But I still think the chicken came first, because the chicken had to lay the egg, didn't it? The egg didn't just appear. The chicken evolved from other animals, which eventually, if you go right way back to the start, they actually evolved from bacteria, because bacteria is a creature which was on the planet at some point. And bacteria came from, I have no idea. That's just way above my head, and I wouldn't even know where to start in terms of finding out where bacteria comes from, because there's actually bacteria on the moon, on Mars. They've found, which technically means that there is life on Mars, because they found traces of water, and there was bacteria in it or something. What made you ride a bike? It was actually just to get to school, because I didn't like walking. I still don't like walking. I hate it. And cycling, it just meant I could get there, get that back, easy peasy. Ever been to Knowsley Safari Park? Yes, I have. It was quite a while ago, but it was with my family on a holiday. Where were you when you made the previous Q&A video? I was on top of Melodon Mountain, or Graig Fawr as it's meant to be called. What made you choose a bright yellow Fiat? It was cheap. I just saw it at the side of the road, thought it might be worth a look, had a little look around, rang the owner, they came and started it up, my dad gave it a little test drive, and it just happened to be a yellow Fiat. I mean, it was a good deal. And for your first car, you always want something that's going to be iconic and memorable. The fact that it's yellow is going to make it memorable. But it's a lovely little car, there's nothing out wrong with it. How many times a day do you get abused by other road users? Not as much as I make it look like. It's improved dramatically, the roads, over the past few years, really, past few months. I think everyone's become a lot more tolerant, really. I've become a lot more tolerant to people making mistakes and things. On average, I see about 2 or 3 near misses whenever I go out. I don't get abused by people that often. It's like once or twice a year, to be honest, but they're the exceptions to all the nice people. What's the furthest you have travelled by car? Well, I went to Chester today. It was 50, so that's probably about 80 mile round trip, 70, 80 mile. Before that, it's just going to college, really. That's the furthest I've ever driven. Do you have, or have you ever had a girlfriend? I've had girlfriends in the past, but it's not on my mind at the moment. College is on my mind at the moment, and to be honest, a girl will probably just interfere and just be a pain in the arse, to be honest, just like they all normally are. What helmet cam would you recommend, and what dash cam would you recommend? For helmet cam, I would recommend a Contour, but they've gone out of business now. So I would probably recommend a Drift, because they're the most similar to Contour, and I'm not too keen on GoPro. A Contour does all I need it to, and if the Contour weren't, if I want another camera, I'll have to go with Drift now. And I think they've got a bit of a better field of view. Campag or Shimano? Shimano. Are you well known in real for what you do? No, to be honest, there's not that many people on the planet. I might be sort of well known on YouTube or around cyclists, but for the average person, no, I'm not really well known. I've only had a few people notice me from my TV appearance, but fame isn't anything I'm looking for, to be honest. What was the best outcome from the video? The best outcome was probably The one with the taxi driver at New Year's last year, where he was following me around real. His passenger had her tablet and was videoing me, purposely following me around, harassing me. Not doing anything too bad, but the fact that they were following me around and harassing me kind of got a bit annoying. The outcome of that was that their video incriminated them, and their video was the reason I went to the police. When I did go to the police, because of all the complaints they'd had from other people on YouTube and people who had seen the whole incident, really. The inspector was there, and the licensing officer was there as well, because it was a taxi that was following me around. The final outcome was that the guy, the driver, ended up obviously losing his job, because what company will want someone who follows around and purposely sort of bullies people? And the driver has a harassment notice against me. So if he comes up harassing me again, he'll end up getting arrested and stuff. What would you do if you returned to your car and found a dent in the door? The car next to yours has yellow paint along the edge of the door. I would say I would probably leave a note, but more likely is that I would actually just dent their car, to be honest. You give and you get. Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? 5 years older. No, hopefully by then, well, I would certainly hope that I'd finish college, and hopefully I will have a decent job as a civil engineer. Do you prefer cycling or driving? I see, I like cycling because you're actually outside and you're enjoying the environment, but I do like driving since I've started. But people have said that I will eventually get sick of it and just not want to drive, which I can understand, because I get tired now, to be honest, after a full day of driving. Would you rather have an expensive car or bike? Now you see, expensive cars can go up into the hundreds of thousands. Things like the Bugatti Veyron is almost £1.5 million. An expensive bike is, what, £4 grand, £5 grand? I've seen a gold-plated one on the internet for 10 grand, but you can't ride something like that. But the bike I have at the moment, my race bike, is perfectly fine. It's only 600. It's 100 grand, and it's all I need, to be honest. So I did like an expensive car. Do you consider yourself to be a good driver? Now, I think I'm capable, but I would not say that I'm the best out there. But whoever does say that they're the best is just stuck up. I know that I'm not the best. I do make mistakes. I will admit to my faults if I am in the wrong, but I would like to think that I'm a satisfactory driver. I'm just average. What's the nearest miss you have had on your bike? I've had plenty of near misses, and it's very hard to pinpoint one. There was one in my top 15 bad drivers where someone reversed out of between two parked cars on the side of the road, and I was looking at the crossroads which I was approaching, and this person just seemed to come out quite fast, actually. And I thought I was a goner. I thought I was just going to be hit and then splatted on the road. Fortunately, they stopped, mainly because I screamed, but yeah, that really shit my pants. Have you ever been knocked off? No, I haven't been knocked off my bike. I've had bumps and things with cars, but they've all been... The worst that had happened was with the Mondeo driver that just was concentrating on a car behind him and then just ended up bumping into me. I haven't been knocked off. Everything's been... All the bumps I have had, people have been okay and they've settled it. Do you do your own maintenance or get a pro to do it? I do my own maintenance, but bike maintenance. because there's nothing to it. Clean a bike, fix things, it's not difficult. Ever crashed? If so, first or worst? The first crash was the worst. Which, as I mentioned earlier, was when I was going around a corner, a greasy corner, a little bit too fast. I was trying to show off to people who were stood on the pavement, and I just wiped out and just slid right across the road, ripped my knee open, and then stupidly cycled away with my knee pouring with blood, and my bike making all kinds of noises, and I ended up in hospital with stitches. Because the people in the hospital said that I needed my leg cleaned out as soon as possible, otherwise if any bacteria got inside my knee, I could end up losing my leg. So I didn't want to take that risk. But I still cycled home. What's the top speed you have achieved? The highest speed on my bike? I think I did 47 downhill, but I've done 45 down the A55, and surprisingly I did 47 down the road which actually goes under the A55, the old A55 road. Why do we point to our wrist when we ask for the time, but not to the crotch when we ask where the bathroom is? How the hell do I know? Because it's easier to point to your wrist because you're not stretching far, are you? Plus it's inappropriate to point to your crotch. Well, you could say that with anything, to be honest. You could say, oh, my heart's there, but that's inappropriate because it's on my chest. What is it you do? Oh, for work. At the moment, I'm just a salesperson in a fabric company, where we cut materials, measure material, we have all kinds of different materials. We have material for dressmaking and for clothes, and we have material for curtains and beds and bedding. We've got all kinds of things. It's a really big shop, it's really popular, especially with the old people. We've got plenty of regulars that come in and stuff, so... And I enjoy it. It is a very, very nice atmosphere there. All the colleagues are really nice, and all the staff, all the customers are normally nice as well. So it's a nice place to work. Do you sit or stand for a piss? Stand. Who is going to win this year's Tour de France? I don't even know who's in it. Why do hot dogs come in packs of 8, but buns come in packs of 6? Because decent sausages come in packs of 6. Maybe you should stop buying cheap shit hot dogs. What type of cheese do you suggest? Oh, that was if you were going to invent the first cheese, what would it be? I quite like Edam. But there were many cheeses out there with loads of different flavours and stuff inside it. I haven't got the first. There's a cheese with jalapenos in it, and jalapenos and chilies and stuff. Spicy cheese. I didn't like it actually. It was a little bit too sort of cloggy on your throat. But I'd suggest cheddar, because it's just universal. It's just the normal cheese. The average cheese. If an orange is orange, why isn't a lemon called yellow? How am I meant to know? It's just one of those things. Why isn't a banana called yellow? Or why isn't a banana called green when it's sort of isn't ripe yet? Or why isn't an apple called green? Why isn't a tomato called red? It's just one of those things, no one knows. An orange is called orange because it's probably Latin or something. Orango or something. A lemon. Fruit and plants and stuff are normally Latin in the context, or it's French or some other kind of country. Nothing can be British because it's always got to be either Latin, French, Spanish, German. I don't know, Italian. There are many different things. going on in the world. Loads of different words come from places. But surprisingly, not Britain. So, we're not popular. And that's it for my Q&A. This video looks like it's going to end up being about half an hour long. It is Saturday today. I will try and upload it tonight, although a 30-minute long video will probably take 5 months to upload. I mean, I have got fast broadband speed, but it's just the size of the video is just immense because it's in HD. That's pretty much it for my Q&A video. I hope everyone enjoys the forthcoming year. I'm going to try and get out as many videos as possible with obviously all my cycling and sort of see if with all my travelling and stuff, and hopefully I will build up a lot more subscribers. I'm getting a lot of views on my video. My channel is I think it's 1,300,000 views on my channel. I don't know what it was. The last time I looked, I had about 1,200 subscribers. But thank you all for following me. Thank you for the questions. I will probably end up doing this next year, to be honest, if I'm still in the mood. Thanks. Bye.